All right, we are live. Okay, so well, as usual, this is usually I do one live before I have a live training. So this is Gerra over here. As you can see, we have a lady over here. It's rare, right, to see ladies in our live show and even my Tree Marketer show. Last week, everybody was so excited because there is lady, and the week before was lady and all that. You know, this is how, especially TY, right? Very excited. But anyway, I called this a pop-up Jason and Friend live show where we will go over and discuss a specific topic regarding the training that we're going to do. So I'm just going to do a quick plug over here before we go over. Gerra and I, this is Gerra, okay? Basically, Gerra is an attraction designer. So basically, she is really good at helping you to find how can you be attractive, how can you build a personal brand. So this is where we discuss about personal branding in the digital era. So Gerra and I both sort of like rebuild our personal brand in the digital sphere through the pandemic since last year. So for those who know me, right, I rebuilt everything since last year because my, you know, brick and mortar design training. I mean, that's the training so-called business kind of like crumbled by the pandemic. So I had to rebuild everything. So hi, we have Intan here. Just a quick hi. Thank you for joining us, Intan. Okay, so if you want to learn from us, as in Gerra and myself, through our story, Gerra is going to share with you how to actually gain yourself back in terms of like finding the identity and kind of like internally, how do you build your mindset to be ready for that. And then I'll be talking about how did I build my YouTube domination through the pandemic since last year. So this is the class. You can actually go to that. But even if you're watching the replay, the class is going to happen on 20th of July, which is coming Tuesday at 3 p.m. as usual. But if you're watching the replay, nonetheless, if you find this useful for you and you still want to join, click away, because usually after the live training, we will turn it into an evergreen program where you can still buy and just watch the training and learn whatever that we have prepared for you, right? So so that's the training. I'm just gonna do a quick cue, but before we roll, right, Gerra, our audience may be actually kind of like you may be a little bit stranger to our audiences. Maybe you can do a bit quick introduction about yourself, please.
Oh yes, okay. So hi, my name is Gerra, and I realized there's a lot. There's one thing I need to address. Like, I mean, not suddenly lah, but like starting from today, right? I think a
Okay.
lot of my clients already know me as someone who is able to make them look good, attractive, and I think a lot of them are aware that I can do transformations physically. But then right now, I just also want to add on that right now, this niche, this personal branding niche, especially in the digital era, right, it's not only just transforming you physically, which is something where I guess not many people can resonate, because this idea would give them like, oh, I just need to use makeup, oh, I just need to look good, oh, I just need to dress better. No, 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 it's not all of those. It's actually more of like, how do you position yourself? How do you design an ecosystem to expand your business, and also to get a better outreach, solve better solution for clients, and to work with clients that you really want to work with, rather than just only the appearance aspect, which is only just part of communication. The key is also to how you put your message, which is your brand, your face, your text, your whatever out, right, in a way that people will come and resonate with you to buy what you want to offer to them. So this is what I want to like kind of reintroduce and re-clarify. Moving forward, I will be, putting more clarity into this, because even though I've been doing like the physical transformation for so long, 12 years, so naturally they will like just link me back to that. So like I'm like, I have expanded, guys. I have vertically built on top of this expertise into another expertise, which I actually am not new to, but it's just like at the back end, right, I've been doing this all along, applying the same strategy over and over again. It's just that I didn't offer up to the relevant people who needs it. But right now, of course, pandemic comes, right, we are also kind of needing to pivot, or like to add on, to expand, right, to help even more people. I mean, of course, we are here to make money, but on top of that, right, we're not like charging crazy amount of money also. And at the same time, if we get to help people and build up our tribe, right, which we want to like have bigger plans for in the future, right, definitely it's going to be a very exciting journey for us, I feel.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, that's a very good kickstart. Basically, yes. For those who know Gerra for a while, then you probably want to actually discover the new Gerra at this point of time because she has transformed, she has leveled up. But I like the way you put it, right? Because a personal brand is not just about your appearance. It's not just about how you actually look and dress and whatnot, right? It is also about how do you actually put yourself out there in the right way so that you attract the right people. It's all about right people. That's why the other day when I was doing my another training, I was telling the audience where, you know what is a good lead magnet? What is a lead magnet? You are the lead magnet. So most of the time, although we talk about it could be B2B or B2C or B to whatnot, right? It's all about human to human. It's all
Yeah.
about you being attracted to a person, just like here. Why are you here learning from me and Gerard over here? I mean, why did you come into my universe to learn Facebook ads from me? It's because in one place, in one way or another, you kind of feel comfortable looking at my face. Else, can you imagine you're actually being trained by a person that you don't like at all, right? Going through a few hours of training with him is going to be a struggle. So that's not something that you would do. So nonetheless, I mean, basically, that's what we want to help you understand and
Yeah.
internalize personal branding because a lot of people actually can't seem to grasp personal branding. That's why let's go through these topics a little bit, Gerard. So
Yes.
let's start with personal branding. What is personal branding? Yeah.
You start first, oh,
Well, I just say, a personal branding is a very conscious exercise in my opinion. This is my opinion. It's a conscious exercise that you put yourself out there, okay, and in a very proper way and a strategic way to magnify and to spread your message. In turn, you want to attract the right people. That's why, in a way, personal branding, right? If you are an expert, if you are an insurance agent, if you're a financial planner and all that, personal branding, in fact, is lead generation.
yeah, correct.
That's my opinion. That's why a lot of people would think that personal branding is only for those people who want to build themselves as an influencer, as a celebrity. But look, I managed to build brand myself. That's the reason why you came and worked with me. I think that's
Mm.
that's my opinion about personal branding. I don't know about you, Gerard. What do you think?
Okay, for me, right, I link. Okay, so because personal branding is a very generic keyword, right? It is the words that we are very familiar with. But for me, I link it back to attraction branding, or right, in some other forms, attraction marketing, right? It is, as what you say, it is actually a marketing strategy that attracts customers and clients to you who already want to buy what you have to offer. Just like that. Like, some
Yeah,
people are not very sure like what is lead generation. It means the people you want to target to come to you in layman terms. That's called
yeah,
leads. Like, so some people, I also realize there are so many new e-commerce people who are just fulfillers, who just want to sell things that nobody needs. Ultimately, I tell you, the well is going to dry out and burn out, and it's going to stagnate. For
yeah,
sure. For sure.
yeah,
So the reason why I also tell my clients who are also in the e-commerce and also like independent agents like financial planners and property agents, right, that they have to have a bigger game plan behind. And personal branding is just, one strategy, but strategy is not something that is like the be all and end all of it. There are also many, many ways, like the tactics, the ways, how do you even get grow and expand and get even more leads through multiple different doorways. Like what I always like to explain to my clients, we are actually building multiple doorways for people to come to you. Or rather, as even simpler, you cast your net wide enough so that the willing fishes can come into your ecosystem.
I like that. I like that 100%. So that's about a little bit about personal branding, but nonetheless, if you come to the training that Gerard and I are conducting, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a lot more in-depth discussion about how strategically we can put together by finding our identity, finding our voice, and finding a platform that suits us well to really amplify our message to get these people in. Right. So I'm just going to plug this quickly that this is the personal branding training because it's going to happen on the 20th of July at 3 p.m. Live. It's a live training that is going to be conducted in the Facebook group. But nonetheless, if you're seeing this, even if you're watching the replay, go over to this website. You should be able to find the recording version of it for you so that you can still purchase and watch that. So yeah, so that's where we're gonna go through, right? So personal branding is a very important topic because if you don't understand what is that for, right? then you probably won't find reason. Now that will lead us to the next question, which is like, who should build a personal brand? What do you think?
For me, right, it's like straight up agents who are in the same company selling the same products with the same price point. You don't even get to compete with the price point factor because it's fixed by the company. So like, agents who are like I wouldn't say forced, but they are like all requested or required to take a certain way of headshot that communicates the
Oh yeah,
same
man.
thing to the people. How do we actually identify them? Because right now, right, we are actually being drowned in overly too much info and data. So even though like maybe I only can differentiate between male and female, but if I'm too busy like scrolling and stuff like that, right? If you're wearing the same jacket as Miss A and Miss B, right? Then like, how can I tell the difference?
Yep.
Ultimately, you still have two eyes, one mouth, one face,
And
long
everybody
hair.
smiles the same, right? Because he's
Yeah,
from the
like
same photographer. You
yeah,
gotta smile like
exactly.
that,
Yeah,
bigger and all that. Come on, man.
yeah, exactly. So in the agents, I would say agents include FAs, financials, properties, MLM marketers, because they are all in the same company selling the same thing with the same price point, and they have no idea who or how to target. And like, even MLMs have like a not so nice reputation, so I think it's also very hard. And FAs are also not easy because it's so competitive. And then business owners who are actually still stuck in the brick and mortar and then trying to survive with their rent, who cannot and have no idea how to expand their ecosystem, or rather their services, or stack upon each other where they can even bring in more revenue and income to make their business profitable again, or at least break even, rather than bleeding so badly right now during the pandemic. Like now, okay, we're allowed to die 2 by 2, 5 by 5. Then after that, the next time maybe we are locked in again. You never really know. So that's the
Yeah.
whole point, and like the purpose behind building the brand. But there is more to that. Like there's a back end to it where we can't tell you all at one session or so. So it is also like staggered and progressive, I would say.
Yep. Yeah. So I would
Yeah.
definitely agree with what Gerard has mentioned if you're like all these industries. But on top of that, I would say if you're even an expert, if you're a coach, if you're in service line, if your business requires you to be the person that actually makes the people who buy from you like you, and that's how they choose you in one way or another, you need to actually build a personal brand. Because like how I put it, right? There are so many Facebook ads trainers out there. Why did you choose me? You probably choose me because I'm me. I mean,
Good
yeah,
looking.
because you like. No, I think it's either you like the personality, you like the way I speak, you like my hair because it's kind of like very thick right now. Damn it, I cannot cut my hair. So there are many reasons, right? So there's in a way that as long as you are the factor that your customer or your client decide whether they buy from you or someone else, you need to build a personal brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Agree
so yeah, I
200%.
mean, yeah, 200%, 300%, totally agree on that. Because seriously, that's these are the things. Because I mean, just a quick relation about sharing about my personal experience. Like last year, you probably have this fear. Last year when I wanted to start my YouTube domination, I call it YouTube domination because if you receive my email, I do dominate YouTube in my niche. Now, when it comes to I wanted to do my YouTube channel, right? I was so afraid. I was like, if you go and search Facebook ads and Facebook advertising in YouTube, there are like gazillion thousands of people who are actually doing that, and all of them has thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers and subscribers. Who am I? Who am I to stand a chance? Who am I to stand a chance to stand out among these people? But here's the thing, when it comes to personal branding in the digital era, it's not a zero-sum game. It's not race to bottom. Doesn't mean there are people there and you don't have a place. It's all about you putting yourself up there, getting seen and heard by the right people who likes you, and they decided that, okay, that's the person that I want to work with. That's it. So digital era makes personal branding, I would say in one way or another, it's easier. But of course, you have to do it the right way, because I also went through a lot of like kind of like bang on walls and all this kind of thing until I found the right way to do the personal branding. So that's how the whole thing changed. That's why don't don't actually being stopped by your own mind block. Whatever that you're thinking to yourself that you can't do it, you're wrong. I'm just going to put it out here. You're wrong. So come over to this class. I just want to quickly plug on this again. This is the Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. This is the personal branding in the digital era. It's a joint training by Gerra and myself that we're going to do together on coming 20th of July. at 3 p.m. So if even you are watching the replay, right, feel free to still go over to this website and come over, because we will actually put up the recording for you to still purchase and watch it. You need to take the first step, because put it this way, people have turned to digital and in a total aggressive way, because everybody, our buying behavior has changed and all this kind of thing. We are 100%, if not, digital now, very much digital right now. And if you are still not able to find a place for yourself in the digital sphere, you're losing out a lot. You really need to do something about that. So that's the thing. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. I like this discussion usually. Jason and Fran is a very good half an hour live session, because we just pop, hit on the topics and we go, right? So just want to give you some perspective and all that. But nonetheless, if you have any questions, feel free to type in the comment. And even if you're watching the replay, still type in the comment, because we will still come over and answer questions and all that, right? So now, next question, Gerra, how to build a personal brand?
How to build a personal brand? For me, I keep it simple. Like, of course, it's simple, but it's not easy, I would say. Firstly, we just need to show up first. But how do we show up exactly? Of course, we can't fully dissect or discuss and go into in depth in one, but just to tease a bit, right? How do you show up effectively, and how do you get heard effectively? Because if there is no attention or no traction to what you are putting out, right? So you see, I have this so-called agent, right? They say, I want to share to my friends how great the property is, or right, how they shouldn't buy this because I don't like it. Then she shared on and on for like about 5 minutes. Then I was asking her, but people want to listen or not first? Then she like, oh yeah, actually nobody want to listen. So exactly, how do you actually get the attention from people to want to listen to what you have to offer? But first, the first things first. Get seen, get heard. Get attention first, then get seen, get heard.
I agree. I think it's very important to look at a few angles here. First thing first, you need to find the identity, who you are. Why are you doing this? Let's say, for example, take the example that you had just now, right? The agent that you're talking about. So if she is talking about this, so first thing first, she needs to really find the identity. Why should, for example, why do you want to do this? Who are you to do this? That's the identity problem. Because if you are not sure why are you doing this, who are you doing this for, right? It's very difficult. And second thing is, you need to actually understand what is the problem, or what is actually the pain point that you're trying to solve. So you need to understand who are your audiences who might be looking for you. So that's another angle. So your identity, your audiences, and you need to work on the messaging. So that's how I will look at personal branding, how you can actually do it in a nutshell. So let's take it, for example, for my case, right? Okay, the moment I stand out, right, how do I distinct myself from other experts that talks about Facebook advertising? Is I actually position myself as a person that talks about strategy. So I have my own framework and all that, but not doesn't mean that you need to come up with a framework. Okay, it could be you want to stand for something, like for your agent friend, right? You could say that, oh, I'm a person who always want to find the best property for you at the best price ever, right? So when you work with me, right, I'll find you the best thing. So who do you represent? So that's the identity part. And then after that, when you have your identity part, naturally you will know that who are the people that you want to talk to. Like for my case, if I talk about Facebook ads strategy, I want to talk to people who are serious about Facebook ads instead of those dabbler who are starting out. So I will go to people who are serious because they have been spending ads money and dollars, and they are not making ROI out of it. So they will look for me because I provide a solution to that. Then in turn, I need to find, how do I want to present this thing? Am I supposed to go YouTube? Am I supposed to choose Instagram and all that? So you need to actually go on this three angle. So that's how I think you should build a personal brand.
That's true. But I also have people who get confused because they say they want to serve everyone. Because it's not fast enough if I go a very specific identity, right? And then then they will lose out on all the other fishes in the sea.
Yep.
So that's also the reason why we are actually here to teach you how to identify the position that you don't lose out, but yet create an expert positioning for yourself with the right message, of course. to
Yep.
attract people that is enough and who has the pockets to kind of pay for what you have to offer.
Yep. That's why, in a nutshell, I would say you actually can't please everyone and you can't be an expert for everyone, but you have to go for the one that actually worth doing, the angle that actually you should be focusing on that makes the whole thing worth. All right. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, thank you. I mean, that's a very good explanation on how to build a personal brand. So I think it will bring us to the next question. But nonetheless, right, guys, if you want to actually learn how to build a personal brand, essentially this is really something very useful for entrepreneurs who are starting out, financial advisor, insurance agent, real estate agents, anything that you do that requires the client or your customer to like you first before they choose to buy from you, then compared to other people, you need to build a personal brand. So I want you to click on this link and go over. Even if you're watching the replay, you can still go over to this website and sign up. Usually we will have the recording ready for you to purchase right away. This is the class that you have to attend. If you're watching this right now, the class is happening on the 20th of July. So if you want to watch it live, along the way, you can ask questions, ask Gerra and myself questions. Go over to this website and sign up right now, because that's where we can actually train together and interact live over there, right? So yeah, so that's about how to build a personal brand. But what about this? I think this is a very interesting question that people will be like, okay, now you give me a better idea about what is the personal brand, how to build a personal brand, who should build a personal brand. But here, what makes a good personal brand? What makes a good personal brand? Okay, in my opinion, very simple. Okay, a good personal brand is the personal brand that makes you money.
Yes, agree.
That's my definition.
That I expand on that. So a good
Please.
personal brand, right? I feel, right, is of course, in apart from people coming to you directly to buy what you have to offer, right? A good personal brand means, right, someone who has no intention to buy from you now because of the wrong timing is willing to refer you someone who is ready to buy because they know about you already, even though they have not bought from you yet.
Yeah. So to expand from there, right, a good personal brand is a lead magnet. A good personal brand is a positioning, or it's kind of like an automation. Like, let me put it this way. I have not built a very successful personal brand on my Instagram or my Facebook, but I built my personal brand on YouTube. And in turn, what happened? YouTube is contributing to about 20% of my monthly revenue right now without me doing anything. Yes, I do post daily, but trust me, the amount of work that I actually put into my producing my YouTube video is minimum to the minimum. Okay, I always like to tell people I actually spend less than an hour a week to do my video, because I already have a framework to actually do this in a very effective way without spending too much time. But however, every day my video are reaching close to about 1,000 people. Okay, and from which, right, people are actually seeing my video, liking my content, coming over to my website, signing up for my courses and all this kind of thing. It's making me money. That's my way of defining. That's in my term. Although I don't have a lot of people over there, I only have 2,000 plus, less than 3,000 subscribers, but it's profitable. It's profitable. That's the thing.
And also to add on is that because of the digital era, right, the referral becomes like exponential, like even more quickly. Because you said YouTube, right? It's like obviously you're not going to know everybody who is watching your YouTube and clicking from other parts of the world, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's how I built my audience to a I mean, I have students from 27 countries. That's how things happen. Else, if I've been doing whatever I've been doing right in the past, right, nothing of this can happen. So here's the thing: if you have been doing whatever you're doing and you're not seeing breakthrough, right, here's what I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you to seize another possibility that has happened to us. We have done it. We're not talking some nonsense that we have not done it ourselves, right? We're actually sharing with you something that we did, and it worked for us, and we want to share you these things. So especially if you're in business that your likability become the reason people buy from you, you gotta actually get this thing fixed, man.
Yes, I like how you keep repeating and repeating this part.
No, I do. I will keep on banging this thing, man, because that's the thing. If you don't realize this, right, then you're
Yeah.
in trouble, man.
It
Like,
takes 7
seriously.
times for us to register. No, come on. I think you
So I'm
registered
gonna do
3 times a
70
week
times. I
before
don't care.
tiring.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why you should, right? So what makes a good personal brand in turn is a personal brand that makes money. But how soon can this happen? How long do I need to build to make this happen? Let me tell you this. If you actually follow my framework, very simple. You start seeing result in a matter of months. I'm saying that 1 to 2 months, you start seeing result coming in. So that's what I promise. Of course, there is a framework to do that. But nonetheless, I want you to start looking into the reason why. So if you want to learn this, join this class, because this is the class that we want. We do this. Gerra and I are coming together to really teach you how we built our personal brand through the pandemic. In about a year time, we rebuilt our business from scratch in a way, not for her, but for me. It's kind of like I crumbled and everything was really crashed. And I rebuilt the whole thing back into multiple six-figure revenue at this point of time. And it can happen to you as well. But everything
I built
starts
before
from,
it crashed. I built before it
yeah,
crashed.
everything starts from a personal brand. Because put it this way, it's me, it's me. Because you got to like me to learn from me, right? If you don't like me, you'll be like, who the hell is this guy talking nonsense, right? But yeah, so this is the link. Even if you're watching the replay, still go through that. We will still put it out as a replay that you can actually watch it and buy and watch it, right? So yeah, so what makes it, so okay, here's the thing. Now back to this question, I think this is a very important one, because a lot of people will be thinking that, okay, now why should I build a personal brand? I think we have been talking about this several times, right? Very simple, okay? You want to build a strong personal brand so that you're able to attract the right people to you, to do business with you, to listen to whatever you have got to say, to start seeing you as an expert, to get you to
To rise
solve their
above the
problem.
competition.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's about getting seen and heard. So this
Yes.
is really, there are 1,000 reasons why you should build a personal brand, but one of them is very simple. Okay, you want to level up.
And
You want
another
to,
reason,
yep,
don't chase. Stop the tiring chasing.
I like that.
Very tiring, very depowering.
Yeah,
Because
I totally
because
agree.
when you have a strong personal brand, right? I mentioned the referrals, right? The automatic referrals. Sometimes you may not be able to track who are the ones who are going to refer you, because a lot of us are silent watchers. But the
Yep,
best thing is you build it strong enough, right? That you don't have to worry about when your next client is coming, because you know you have already put things in motion. And this is what you have to just consistently keep doing. That follows you for the rest of your journey until maybe you retire, or like, you just want to stop.
totally
It's
agree.
just,
Totally agree.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the thing that you have to master, because you got to do this for the rest of your life. As long as you're in business, as long as you're actually still building something, even though you build this, like for example, right? I was telling people that now I built myself as a strong brand in Facebook advertising, and with the same framework, it's a lot easier for me to actually build something else. Like I just started my first the business coaching bit, which is another pillar of my business. It's a lot easier because I know how. So it's a skill. It's like a superpower that you can learn and keep for yourself forever. So that's the thing that we are talking to you about right now. So it's really the skill that you have to acquire. I will cue this up again. This is the training that Gerra and I are doing on Tuesday. Okay, I'll cue this up every question. Okay. Now here's the thing. If you miss this, I mean, as in like the live session, you miss the opportunity to come in and ask questions to us and all that, So we can actually try to address whatever you're actually having in your head, try to solve your hurdles and all that, so that we can help you work around and start building your brand in the right way. But even if you're watching the replay, doesn't matter. Still hit the button, go to the link, and you'll be able to still purchase and watch the replay. But nonetheless, it's really about building your personal brand. Now let's come to the last question. We don't want to drag this show for too long, but before that, right, we have a question from Intan. So Intan's opinion is, when people trust you, that makes you a good personal brand. I agree, Intan. So
Intan.
how do you? Yeah, that's a good one. So building the trust is really one of the defining factor of a personal brand, meaning that you have to make people trust you. That's why trust has multiple angles to look at it. One thing is definitely you have to be consistent. You cannot one day this is Jason Gunn like this, and tomorrow the Jason Gunn wears like a different hat, and he behave differently, he talk nonsense and all the time. So, I mean, yeah. So the trust factor is very important, and it builds over time. You see.
Let me add on also. It's
Yeah,
like,
please.
I know a lot of us want to see results very fast, right? I mean, I also want to give you results very fast, but trust is a thing that you need to remember that you can't sometimes build trust overnight. Of course, it depends on how consistently you show up, how often you show up, the way you put yourself across. Because communication includes, like, things that you don't say, but people still actually absorb from you, which means it's the non-verbal kind of communication. So that one I can't actually, like, control your movements because that's you, ma. But how do you actually make it into your strongest selling point? And sometimes you really need to let a little bit of time, which is why we always like emphasize within months, you'll be able to see something come out as long as you follow our framework, you apply what we tell you, you just keep doing. Definitely, it will just keep building better and better. And it's just going to stack up on top of each other. Like exponentially, it will explode. And also the best thing why it's so good to build a personal brand, right? Like, I'm sorry not to bust you, but we can save on ad spend. I mean, ads are necessary and it's also part of the framework, I would say, in businesses. But it's just like, how much money can you dump on ads? Trust is not something just because you spend money, right? People are entitled to give you what their attention. No, right? Today in my sharing, right, I really am already very irritated. So it's like we are giving like some simple sharing, and then this dude thinks that he's entitled to what we are actually going to share. I mean, it's like it's such a put off, you
All
know.
right.
So this is all about trust and credibility. Sometimes we just have to do it the right way, slowly, and we can't expect everyone to like us, of course. But you just have to do it to the best of your abilities, and of course, awareness. I want to add on, awareness is so important. Then you will be able to build the trust that people can come to you.
Yep, I like that. And Adrian was saying your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. 100%. Totally agree. Thanks, Adrian, for cementing that very important pillar of what makes a good personal brand. All right, so yeah, let's go over to the last question over here. Personal branding in the digital era. Is it easier or is it more difficult? It seems to have so many more people are doing the same thing. And, how am I supposed to stand out? How am I supposed to be seen and heard by the people that I want them to hear and get me? So yeah. So what do you think? Is it easier or is it harder?
Easier.
Okay, why is it easier?
Because the power of technology will help us multiply things in a shorter time. If you know how to use
Yep.
it lah. If you know what to use, where to use, how to use it well. So it's really like, and a lot of it is free. It's just like maybe as you say, it's a mental block. It's a mindset thing also. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, I admit, like, I also feel very deterred by the AI, the tech and stuff. But like when I really put my mind to really explore, right, it's actually not that bad. And I really discover a lot of shortcut ways to, get things done very quickly and like in the lowest cost possible. Of course, that's the beautiful part of it. That's why I feel like it's easier because we don't have to waste physical time to go and meet up with people and like, segment ourselves in a way where they always remember us. Like, how many times can you meet someone? 7 times? It takes 7 times to make an impression. First impression, of course, the most important. Then you tell me you're going to meet this person 7 times before you can sell them something. It's also quite difficult, right? Because all of us are so busy for whatever reason, I don't know. But I feel like it's really easier.
I totally agree. Let me give you a very, very dumb, dead simple example over here. Okay, my YouTube video reaches about 1,000 people every day. How many of you can meet 10 people a day if you do personal meeting? But I literally present myself to 1,000 people every damn day. Imagine the opportunity that I have compared to what you have.
Yeah. Sometimes we just wear something nice, right? And then below we just wear underwear also can. Nobody
I mean,
will
that's you. I don't care. I won't tell you what I wear down there. but, but the thing here is, it's a lot so much easier because, like, for example, a lot of people will look at YouTube. Oh, you all build YouTube. Like, seriously, in the training itself, I'm going to teach you my YouTube framework. And I'm going to tell you a bit how you actually kickstart your YouTube channel. But here's the thing. A lot of people look at YouTube and be like, holy, do you really want me to go YouTube and all that? I'm not a YouTuber. Nobody like my face. I cannot talk. I have a lot of... Look at my videos. All these are craps, okay? A lot of times I don't even have a good hair, bad hair day. I don't care. I just show up. And of course I wear the same shirt. That's my problem.
Your underwear change.
Yeah. So the thing here is, it is actually very, very simple and straightforward to build a YouTube framework, to build a YouTube presence. But the benefit here, I just told you. How many of you can meet 10 person a day? But I literally meet 1,000 people every day. Imagine the power. So that's the simple reason. And this can't be done in the offline world. This can only be done with the power of the platforms. And let me tell you this again, I spent 0 on YouTube so far, 0. And I've already made 6-figure multiple times. I mean, multiple 6-figure through YouTube already because of the referral traffic. It brings me people every day. It brings people to buy my course, and which is already automated online every day. But here's the thing, okay? You don't need to go through and navigate whatever it is to make it work for yourself all the time. You don't need to go and figure out, oh, how do I actually post YouTube? What gear should I do? How am I supposed to find topics? How am I supposed to actually make myself think the right way, in order to tune my mindset right, find my identity and all that? You don't need to go through that because we have it. One last time, I'm going to cue this thing again up. I'm saying that, look, how many times already we did this? It's the 7th or 8th time anyway. It's a training that Gerra and I are doing together. If you're watching this live, we are actually teaching you live on the 20th of July. But if you're watching the replay of this and you find these topics useful for you, you want to learn this, go over to this website, because after the live training, of course, if you can attend live, you get to ask questions in the live training in the group, to ask Gerra and myself anything that you have, right? But even if you're watching the replay, still go over, because watching the training itself is going to help you change a lot of perspective and maybe certain things on how to do things right and all that, to start building your personal brand. Like I said, it's the most important thing that you need to master, especially if your business is about getting people to like you, to start thinking about buying from you. The likability become one of an important factor.
USP.
Okay. Sorry?
USP, unique selling
The
point.
USP,
Sometimes some people don't understand what is USP. Okay, so we put it in layman terms, right? Your personal brand will be your USP.
Yeah.
And we'll teach you how to build it up.
Yeah, so let's sum it a few things, all right? We talk about your personal brand is your lead magnet, your USP is your personal brand. And then this is how you actually go out, be seen and be heard the right way to attract the right people to start thinking about, oh, I want to buy from this guy. I want to learn from this guy. I want to talk to this guy. I mean, a girl. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah, you got to go to this, right? So yeah, I mean, that brings us to the end of this session. We don't have more questions for you, but nonetheless, if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, feel free to type away. As usual, I don't answer questions in my videos. I will go through them and answer them in my Sunday AMA night, which is going to happen tomorrow. So if you follow me for a while, you know that I do that every Sunday night to answer your questions. But yeah, Intan was saying, thank us, totally. Thank you so much, Intan. Thank you for joining us. And that's kind of like the wrap for this session. Remember, okay, the live training is going to happen on the 20th of July. If you want to join, go over to this one. I'm going to queue it for the last one. Okay. And yeah, I do not know when I'm going to do this again, because Jason and Friend is a pop-up thing. Whenever I have, expert live training, I'll bring it up. So you will see me again doing this on a Saturday night when I have the next expert going to train with me. But nonetheless, thank you so much for joining us. And you have a great weekend. We still have still that. Okay. Now, I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks. Bye.
Yes. Bye.